Folks, welcome to yet another edition of Overton's Window. I'm your host, Bulma Overton III. What's happening? We got a bunch of cool stories for you today. Like always, we are your go-to source for what's happening in Austin, Texas. Up first, barbecue, something we all know and love. Let's talk about meat. Getting hot just thinking about it. So this organization, we'll call them barbecue.com. That's not a real thing. But apparently they know the 50 best places to get barbecue in the world, or at least the United States. As a Texan, I think, whatever could you be talking of? The best barbecue? I've never heard of this challenge. What an innovative idea. Best barbecue? I'm definitely going to agree with whatever you say is number one. I was looking at the list. The number 2 place has been open for 3 years. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I've got to get an opportunity to go try out the Intergalactic Planetary barbecue place. It's up north. Number 2.
In Texas?
And it's been open for 3 years. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? What I would like for you to do for me, I know I'm already asking you a lot, but you, as soon as you thought best barbecue, a place came to mind. I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, number 1 in my life is whatever it is. Let me know in the comments. The top 10 places that you say are the number 1 place, we're going to go check them out. As long as they're somewhere here in Texas, not too far. I've only got a scooter, so it's got to be within a pretty small amount of space. At least Houston or Dallas. I'll keep those for the farthest I'll go. And San Antonio to the south. But let me know what your best barbecue places are, so we can determine what the best barbecue in Central Texas is at least. Maybe one day, we will take your request for worst barbecue. Who's ever done a study on that? You, as soon as I said that, thought, oh my gosh, I went to this one place one time. Worst barbecue ever. You going to tell me about those places? Maybe we should do a barbecue places to avoid episode. Let me know what you think about that. Speaking of things in Austin, after the meat, we're going to talk about, because I'm getting so hot thinking about that meat, we're going to talk about something cool. Barton Springs. Guess what? Barton Springs is open again. I know. I know the whole time you're thinking, is Barton Springs open right now? Is it? You've got work, you've got kids, school, your life is crazy. But this whole time, I know, you've been wondering, I'm here to let you know, yes, it is. We had some big floods. There were some big rains earlier this week. And I'm going to show you some footage of the water coming from Barton Creek over the dam into the springs to grandmother's house. Way to go. But obviously, whenever we have big rains like that, it shuts the pool down. The reason I bring it up, Barton Springs is the heart and soul of Austin, Texas. If you do not know that, hello, welcome from California. Nice to see you. The gem of this town is Barton Springs. So I like to keep people abreast to what's happening with Barton Springs whenever I can. Fun fact, after a heavy rain down there on Barton Springs, you want to give it a day or two before you go swimming there, because it can be kind of murky, and all the poo and the pee and the dead animals, they all get washed into the creek, into our reservoir. So give it a day or two for it to kind of purify itself, make itself clean, heal itself from inside. And then once you have that filtration process, you're able to just dive right into Barton Springs and drink as much of that water as you can. Up next, checks notes. He says, Oak Hill. Oak Hill, what's going on the south side? Hey, I know. Wait, no. Is that a Y? No, it's a V. How do you do a Y with your hand? I don't know. We're talking about the Y. Why, you ask? That's because stuff's going down there. back in the 90s, they said, hey, we're going to take away all these businesses here. So we got a freeway coming through. Cool. Still the 90s? No. Oh, it's 2021. We still don't have a freeway there. We do, however, have a very complex system of lights. So if you want to turn left, you have to get all the way right and then to the side at William Cannon. But I'm not sure how to get to that intersection actually. There's too many lights, too many crossovers. And it looks like a stitching of some sort. I don't know what they were doing there. Good attempt to solve a problem. The reason I'm bringing it up, however, is there's a little bit more movement. They have cleared away more brush to potentially be laying down some tracks to catch that 71 route. The 290 leg is still pretty barren, but there has been movement. I do, however, believe the SOS Foundation recently found a
blind salamander.
That's going to complicate the development process. They are doing their best to preserve wildlife representation during that development process. Mad respect for that. We want to take care of our environment, but we also want to advance our infrastructure. Which one takes precedent? Blind salamander? Highway? You tell me. Which one's more important to you? That is the age-old question. Mad respect to Save Our Springs, because without you putting up a fight to say, hey, we do need to at least consider the blind salamander, without you being here, I don't think anybody would be putting up that fight. And we might not even see the blind salamander because he doesn't see us. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to all of you folks living south of the Y. Things are slowly getting better for you to come back into town. I know once all of this construction is done, you're going to be working from home. You're not even going to need the road anyway. So you got that to look forward to. Coming up next, Harry Potter. What? Harry Potter? I'm a grown ass man. What am I going to do with Harry Potter? Hey, look at me. I have a broom that flies. I never read the series. I never saw the movie. I don't know too much about Harry Potter. I do know that everybody in the world knows the name. So good for him. There's Disney rides, there's cookies, there's milk named after him, all kind of stuff. But one thing I wanted to bring up as just a continuum, there is a designated Harry Potter house in South Austin. I believe it's in the Circle C area. It's a spooky house for Halloween. And there are a lot of other houses around town that have these really cool themes going on. Mad shout out to the Harry Potter construction just because it was so grand. It looks like somebody could actually live in their yard setup. So I'm going to try to make my way over there. If you have any pictures of other cool houses in Austin that have really gone out of their way for Halloween, for the best candy giving day of all time, link those up in the comments. Can you put pictures in the comments? No, I don't think you can do that. However, you know how to find me on Instagram. What's a Volma? WATAVOLMA. You know how to do it. Send me some pictures. Let me know what your houses look like out there. I'm curious. Maybe even stop by with a little bag and say, trick or treat. Coming up next, top 50. Say what? Another top 50? What is this, amateur day? Come on. But I will say, this top 50 is from a substantial source, the Austin Visitor Center. Does it get more legit than that? The Austin Visitor Center has a top 50 list of top 50 things to do in Austin. This comes from their inquiries from you. When you come to Austin, you're like, hey, what do I need to do? What should I do? This is what I did. So they've compiled a list of the top 50 things. As an Austinite, as someone who's been here since the day I was born, I think it's up to me to investigate these top 50 things to do in Austin. So we're going to go down the list. There's a link so you can check them out if you want me to prioritize some of those events more so than others. I will certainly do that. I'm just going to go 1 through 50, get back to you with a full report of good, bad, ugly, do it, don't do it. You know, just the usual information about these must-dos for Austin, Texas. We'll give you a local perspective. Speaking of local perspective, prop. What you gonna do when they come for you? Do you know how you're gonna vote? Prop.
B.
Do you know how you're gonna vote? Prop.
A.
cops, land. Those are important issues. Give more money to cops. Buy more land. Sell more land. What do we want to do? Why are you voting yes for A? Or Prop, is it Prop A or Prop 1? Prop.
A,
Why are you voting for Prop
A,
yes or no? Prop
B.
You're voting yes? Why? You're voting no? Why? Tell me. Although I just gave a big disclaimer that I'm local from day one, let's pretend I've never heard of Prop A or Prop B. Explain to me, in the best of your ability, why I should or why I should not vote for said propositions. Share with me the detailed information that you have, the insights that got to your decision, so that I can share that with everybody else, so we can all be on the same page. That's just my proposition. We're a group of sharing information. I don't know the answer. You don't know the answer, but I bet collectively we could find the answer. So let me know. Let me know your thoughts on that. What's that project look like 10 years from now, 20 years, 50 years from now? The decisions we make on this proposition selection, yes or no? What does it look like tomorrow, 10 years, 50 years down the road? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Last but not least, I'm sure you're very concerned about COTA, that is also known as Circuit of the Americas. This weekend, we've got F1, which stands for Fantastic Ones. Some people say it stands for Formula One. I don't know what the formula is, but apparently they put that formula in these really, really high dollar cars. Some of these cars are $1 million a piece. And very few of these people, these groups, are from the United States. So imagine coming from another country with a fleet of $1 million vehicles and all the tools to work on those $1 million vehicles, the people to work on those $1 million vehicles, the knowledge, computers, et cetera, et cetera. Very, very expensive sport, but it is the top of the line. So I've never seen it myself. Curious to see how those cars perform on our amazing track. That's happening this weekend. In between it, though, Piano Man's here. Billy Joel. He is, you don't hear the name often anymore, but when you do hear it, you're like, oh yeah, Piano Man, that guy. He's here. So go check him out. Or not, I don't care. That is all we have for today's show. Faux show. If you have any other things that you want to mention for this week, let me know down in the comment section. Of the 6 things I just mentioned, the top 6 things, what are your thoughts? Got feedback for me? Let me know what you think. Until we talk the next time, I hope you have a day just as nice as you are. Overton, I'm out.